And here we go. We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Traveling up. Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside speed off. Bring in SPD off. Off. It's orange!
Orange 25! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. What is it? Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If there's methane to be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You dead? We don't need any more of these.
Tell me when. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a few of one of our favorite launch pads here, as we are getting ready for the launch of Starlink 6-60. My name is Adrian Beil, and this is NSF's coverage of today's Falcon 9 mission, which, let's just say, kept us around for all day for now, as this is already at the very end of the window here, and it seems they had some time here before they could get ready for today. Let's see what we will see today here. And I'm not alone here. I have some excellent knowledge with me today here, starting with Mr. Alejandro Alcantarilla Romero. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Man, this launch just went all the way till the end of the window, right? So let's hope they get it right on this only attempt that they have today for this launch.
I guess the good news is they always only have one attempt, right? Like it's kind of their standard. So,
Well, but you know, it would have been worse if we had gone live and then they delayed till the end of the window. At least they were nice enough to do it before we went live.
absolutely. And we didn't have like a multi-hour wait around and jump on and off here. Speaking of the person that so far is most affected about all of these delays, we have Mr. Max Evans in the field. Max, how has it been?
Oh, well, it has been a day so far. Classic case of the Mondays. Starlink, a very early morning Starlink it should have been, now pushing all the way to the end of the window. And I got here at 5:30 a.m. this morning. Lovely times, but good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, everybody, depending on where you're watching from. And welcome to, honestly, what is about to be a scorching Monday here on Florida Space Coast.
Yeah, I was about to check in here. It's completely hot, right? Like even for Florida, it's hot.
Indeed,
So,
it is. Yeah, the forecast for today, I think, is in the mid 90s, and even more so the more you go inland towards Orlando and Central Florida. There is a bit of a breeze, which helps out quite a bit, but there is not much in the way of cloud cover, so we are getting the sun's rays at their full fury. So, trying to keep my hat on as much as I can, but it's kind of difficult with the headset. So, but we're trying to stay in shade.
absolutely, please stay safe here, Max, and make sure you get lots of hydration. Then that's a hydration check for everybody, especially, of course, these people that are right now in these very hot zones. And with that, of course, we want to make sure that the next 54 minutes are as interesting and as most knowledgeable as possible. And of course, we have Jay Keegan here behind the scenes, which is popping up in the top right to remind me that that's indeed the operator for today's stream. But if you have any questions for today, if you have anything about today's mission, something that really is interesting for you about Starlink 6-60, about Falcon 9, but something in general, please make sure to tag us in chat at NASA Spaceflight, and we have this handy panel that makes sure that we get your questions. And with that, Alex, do you mind giving us a quick overview about what's the Starlink mission, what's special about it, what's cool, what do the people need to know?
Yeah, so it is another Starlink mission. It is carrying 23 Starlink V2 mini satellites into low Earth orbit. The orbit for today is going to be a little bit lower than usual, but it's just 10 kilometers. It's not really big of a deal. It's going to be 285 by 293. No, excuse me, that was the one from the previous one. Excuse me. The usual one is 285 by 293 kilometers. Today it is going 276 by 285, so about 10 kilometers down from both the apogee and the perigee, the highest and the lowest points of the orbit. To get there, the Falcon 9 for today will launch out of the Cape from Slick 40, as you can see there. It'll go southeast, as it usually does from here from the Cape. There you can see that sort of trajectory out of the Cape going southeast. I've looked at least on marine traffic, and there's a lot of boats in the area though. So that's funny that they have had quite the traffic today. I guess it's because of the holiday. But yeah, very very nice day as well to launch. I think we had 90% chance of good weather and everything. So southeast, as you can see there. And thank you, Jay, showing there that weather forecast for today. 95 going to 90 at the end of the window. So we are right now at the end of the window. So that will be 90% good chances of weather today. So hopefully no constraints on that end. Once the second stage reaches orbit after its first burn, so essentially, we have first stage burn, second stage reaches this sort of elliptical orbit, then it waits about 45 minutes, goes to the apogee, fires its engine again for a couple of seconds, deploys the satellites, and then comes back and re-enters over the Indian Ocean as well. You can see that re-entry portion for the second stage. The first stage, as you may know already, Falcon 9 is a reusable rocket. And so the first stage is obviously reusable. And so this one is B1078. It is flying for a 10th time today. And that will be the 15th booster that has flown for 10 times, essentially. So if you count all of the boosters that SpaceX has flown on the Falcon family, and you essentially count how many of them have flown 10 times, there's been so far 14. This will be the 15th booster to reach 10 flights, which is quite an amazing milestone if you think about it, because up until very recently, 10 flights was like, wow, this kind of big thing, and now this is the 15th booster to reach that mark. Of course, as usual, it's going to be landing on a drone ship, or Falcon 9 boosters can also land back on land, but Starlink missions, they land on a drone ship. And today, it'll be a Shortfall Of Gravitas supporting this mission. Also, there's another part of Falcon 9 that is reusable, which is the fairing halves. And the fairing halves today will be recovered by one of the SpaceX fairing recovery vessels, which is Dog. That's going to be out there recovering the fairings. That one was used on Starlink 662. It just went back to the port, dropped off the fairings, and went again in such a quick succession. Just got it goes to tell you that it's a really fast pace that they have out here from the Cape. But that's essentially everything that I could think of for today's mission. Other than I could give you more stats if you want. This is going to be the 72nd landing on a Shortfall Of Gravitas. 12 launch of the month. That's another important stat, because this will be essentially really on pace to get to the 148 missions that they want to do with Falcon this year. They still have another 2 flights for the rest of the month in May. They have another mission from Vandenberg, the Earth Care mission, and then they also another Starlink mission in about 3.5 days from here, from Slick 40. That's going to be Starlink 664, which means they have a shot of doing 14 flights in May, and that is not even counting. We had the potential at one point of having Starship as well. Now Starship, as we know, is no earlier than June 5th, but that was also a possibility at one point. That will have been bonkers, just to say the least. And I guess now finally I've gone through all the stuff that I wanted to mention.
Yes, thanks for that very short explanation, Alex. He understands. I am allowed to make that joke. Max,
Yes.
so You're today's Falcon watcher and weatherman. Well, how's wind and weather looking besides the fact that it's grilling you?
It's grilling me.
Cool.
Otherwise, it is bright and sunny. Classic Florida day. I mean, they call it the Sunshine State for a reason. There's a subtle wind coming out of the east right now, but it actually seems to have just died. That sucks because now the air is going to be stagnant, and we're going to bake even more. Lovely. But yeah, temperature right now is holding just around 90 degrees. Should be a high of around 94 around 1 or 2 p.m., which is going to be lovely to be in. Hopefully, you're not without sunscreen or shade or water or some form of hydration on this holiday Monday here in the U.S. But otherwise, it's looking great. But as you can probably see from the imagery, though, the sun is in a spot where the rocket looks a bit backlit, and there is a lot of heat haze going on in the foreground in front of it. That is simply a byproduct of the temperature and the atmosphere just being angry for being, I guess, this warm out today. And I think humidity right now is only around 65%. Which honestly is pretty low for Florida. Anything below 70%, I think, or even 80% is low for Florida. But otherwise, it is looking great.
There we go. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, but I mean, we can already see the heat here. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of obvious if you look at the picture. You can see the heat haze, or I think the correct word is turbulence. Before I get somebody in the back channel being very angry with me.
I don't know if we can show your picture.
I think we
Max.
can. Oh God, do you have it? I think, Adrian. I think the correct terminology is atmospheric distortion. How about that?
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. There's Mac's
God.
pictures.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's really difficult to wear that hat when you have a headset on because it doesn't fit over your headset very well.
And I have some news here we have to report at this point, and I think it's the time to potentially also update the clock here. The mission is no longer targeting for today. I'm not sure if it's this page showing that. Oh, it's also now on the website.
Yes.
Cool.
It is.
The mission apparently for today has been scrubbed. We have a scrub for today's Starlink mission. I'm so sorry, Max.
Is that is this a record for the shortest live stream we've ever had?
No,
Oh,
we had
no.
one. No, we had one Starbase stream. I think we went live, and as we went live, they opened the road.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh goodness
I'm
gracious!
sorry. We don't know why yet, but SpaceX has scrapped today's Starlink mission, and they will stand down for today's mission. And the recycle will be tomorrow at a similar window, which means Max, you're up there tomorrow again.
But
Let's
you know
suck it up and
what?
do it again, yeah.
Just
Oh,
so
no.
people before people start rushing away from the stream, because I know they're probably gonna be, oh, I'm leaving or whatever. Don't leave, because there's news. Well, not news, I guess. There's a thing out of this now, because this means that tomorrow's attempt is gonna be within the window for the wet dress rehearsal attempt of Starship. So we're gonna have a Starlink and Starship tomorrow.
Yep. Because
Falcon
if
9
you're not,
and Starship operations in one stream, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, potentially we'll see.
We'll have to plan around that. Isn't that a great problem to have?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, but I mean, we are certainly in for an exciting day tomorrow. We have a road closure at Starbase from 8 to 8. Is this right?
From 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that is that is actually the thing, that it's 5 a.m. and the launch will be no earlier than 7:30 a.m. So 5 a.m. Central, that's 6 a.m. Eastern. So they probably will close the road straight away. We'll have the Starlink launch, and then after the Starlink launch, this is assuming that it goes on the first, on at the beginning of the window tomorrow for Starlink. And then after that, we'll probably, yeah, exactly. And then we'll probably have tank farm spool up and then going straight into the wet dress. It's gonna be awesome. Just looking forward to it. Action packed and all of that.
It's the appetizer for tomorrow's main event in the wet dress rehearsal.
Exactly.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, again, that's as sad as it is. This concludes today's coverage here. I want to thank first Jay Keegan for being behind the scenes here and making sure we get these views. And yeah, thank you for the operating today, Jay, for this a bit of a short edition of a Starlink stream. Then I want to especially thank Max for rolling out early today and being there all day for us to. We had some good views on the rocket. Sadly, no launch today.
I
Oh,
mean,
well.
there are much worse places to be for a long period of time, to be honest with you. And this is not a terrible way to spend your time, as exhausting as it can be sometimes. So let's all come back tomorrow and do it again.
Yeah, what's the saying? If you have to watch a scrub, you better watch a scrub with friends in Florida. Apparently,
Which isn't the case because D is not with us today, which makes me very sad. It's just me out here today. It's like old times.
You're sitting there alone.
All alone. If you want, you can aim one of the hut cameras my way and just see how lonely I am over here. It's lovely.
I will stall for some time here so Jay can turn around one of the hub cameras so we can see you all alone on that grass.
You can probably start packing, I guess, right? Because otherwise, man, you gotta get back to, get a big nap or something.
I want
for
to
sure.
go to bed.
Alex, also thank you for being with us here today, and probably your one answer there filled about 25% of the stream.
Yeah, I guess these overviews of Starlinks is like, yeah, it's somewhat the same kind of thing, right? But it's also not the same. There's always some things to point out. And yeah, it was a 5-minute answer, I guess. Yes.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that's when you cover rockets, right? It's sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't get lucky. And at least
Yeah.
I got Max in the pre-show before we went live, explaining me the difference between alligators and crocodiles. Thank you for that, Max. I learned something today.
Which still blows my mind that you had no idea what the difference was. That blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I had we had a quick chat before this, and he explained to me that there's a difference. Apparently, I was not aware. So I learned something
So
today.
not only have you not seen some of the greatest movies ever made, you did not know the difference between alligators and crocodiles. Adrian,
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry.
Jack would be so disappointed in you.
Yeah, I'm expecting when Jack watches this later when he wakes up or something, he will probably be in my DMs being like, Adrian. So
I would.
I for sure. I would expect nothing less from you. There you are. Hello. We see you, Max.
Yeah, just baking out here. It's been quite the morning so far. I hope y'all are enjoying the show.
Absolutely, and let's get you out of the heat. Thanks everybody for watching, and with these views of Max, so we are wrapping up here. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. Again, we are back tomorrow with Starship and hopefully Falcon 9. See you all there, and let's roll the outro.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Rolling up. Roger, Atlantis.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside speed off. Bring in SPD off. Off. It's orange!
145.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
The methane will be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You read? We don't need any more of these.